Speak No Evil, the newest horror movie. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Speak No Evil is the newest and latest horror movie that is out on the big screen for you guys to go and check out. This is the one that stars James McAvoy. And I was really excited for this film. The trailers looked really good, and James McAvoy in this role looked superb. I mean, we all remember that outrageously great performance he gave us in the movie Split. So we already knew that this guy, he can play this sort of character to the utmost highest standard you can get. So that already had me being super excited for it. So I went in, watched it, and I tell you what, I thoroughly enjoyed this film quite a lot. Now, I will say this, it is a slow burn at the start. They are placing the seeds throughout the film, so it does build up to the big climactic thing that happens, the big reveal of who they are, what they do, and everything like that. That all gets revealed, but it's a slow burn. It's a slow process. So it's not this out of the blocks horror movie, slasher, or anything like that. That's not what it is. This is a very uneasy sort of thriller horror elements. That's what it really takes. It doesn't have this slasher sort of vibe, even though the final act kind of gets into a bit more of a slasher film, but that's only just in the final act there. The first two acts is all about building the characters, getting you to see where these characters are, to understand the character and their motivations. What makes this family so appeasing? Why do they feel like they have to go and visit them? Why do they feel like they have to associate with them? And what is the mystery surrounding them? So they're all building up to that moment when the big reveal happens of what is actually going on. So to me, it worked because it was the payoff. Because as you're watching it, you're like, okay, they don't seem that bad. You know, like they're a bit quirky and a bit wacky and stuff like that, but who isn't? They just seem like a normal people with, like, you know, they're not like the most comforting. Like, you get a little bit of an uneasy feel about them. And then as you progress, as you go to their place and you start to see little things come out within the characters, you start to feel a bit more uneasy. So throughout the film, you are sitting there. And whenever James McAvoy's character is on screen, you get this sense of uneasiness, this anxious feeling, this unpredictability nature of the character, that at any moment he could do something. And it's not going to surprise you or anything like that, because you can feel it. And I think that's what it does really, really well, this film, is it builds that tension. And when he's on screen, you're just waiting. It's like a time bomb. You're just ticking the time down. And you know it's getting closer and closer to that zero. And there's nothing you can do about it. So that to me worked really, really well as you follow the characters. And I think having it as the slow burn actually increased this film for me, because I started to understand what the character is, who James McAvoy's character is, why he's doing what he's doing, what are his motivations. And deep down, you can see that this is a troubled person. This isn't just a person that's a psychopath or anything like that. He's obviously had a traumatic experience when he's a kid, and now he's earning for this sense of family, this sense of love, this sense of, you know, enjoyment in life and stuff like that. But unfortunately, he's just not being tailor-made like every other person. He's been shown a different way through his parents, by the sounds of it, that now this is who they have created. They've created this person. And in his quest to find this, he is willing to do unspeakable things in order to attain something that he has not been able to attain within life. Which I think was a very interesting concept to add to this character, to give him layers, to give him motivation, to understand him and where he's coming from. While you can't support it, you can't support what he does or anything like that. It's horrendous what he does, but you understand why he's doing it. And I think that's what makes for good villains and good, you know, characters in these type of films, is having the motivation behind them, understanding them, and realizing why they're doing it, and having them have a goal that they're attaining, trying to reach, I think just elevates those characters to the next level. Now, our family that we follow, at times I did not like them, and then at times I'm like, I'm rooting for them. So they were kind of 50-50. They make some decisions where you're kind of like, really? In any situation, would you really do that? So there are moments like that when in it, when, certain things like to happen. I think the third act made sense why they did what they did in the third act. I totally understand that. And as a human being, I think most of us would understand those decisions. But it's the stuff prior to that that they make those decisions. Because if there's one thing I could say is they could have developed maybe a little bit more of them connecting as families, connecting with each other and trying to understand what's going on. And so there was that. But there are some little things where you're kind of like questioning what's going on and that. But the story itself is fascinating in a way where I think it really worked. Because when I went into this movie, I was expecting to get those horror elements, and I got it. The story delivers that. When the reveal gets revealed, and you're like, oh crap, then the third act kicks in, and now it's gone from this uneasy feeling, this anxious feeling, to adrenaline rush feeling, to, oh man, here we go. The blood, the gore, the horror is coming out now. And that's what I really, really liked, is the build up to that, and the story flowed, and it actually worked. So you can follow the story and piece together what's happening. And I thought the performance of the kid, the one that can't speak, was fantastic. Because he was conveying the emotion in that. So whenever you saw him, you knew something was up with this kid. You're like, okay, there's something wrong with this kid. What's going on here? And you start to pick up the subtle hints here and there. And that's what I think this film did really, really well, is those subtle hints. So, and James McAvoy is absolutely fantastic in this film. He is so freaking good, man. I just love seeing this guy on screen when he's in these sort of roles. He just brings it. He takes his character and just pours his passion, his heart, and his soul into it, and delivers this world-class performance again. And most of the people in here do a fantastic job. And dude, the location was gorgeous. Some of the shots were fantastic, and I really, really loved it. So, look, I enjoyed it. I really did. I think, just remember, going into this, it's a slow burn at the start, because it's all building up to the big climactic battle that's going to happen at the end there. The big climax of this horror film. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good. So, for me, I actually liked it. So let me know what you guys think of Speak No Evil. If you guys have seen it, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you not? Smash it down there. Smash that like button for me. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.